Hello and welcome to a new video. As you might have read from the title, today's video is all about fan service and the question whether I personally consider it problematic or not. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this topic in the comments, as I feel that it varies quite a lot. And like I said, this is just my opinion on the topic. It's not it's not a fixed statement or anything. But before we dive into the video, I'll have to explain what fan service actually means. So fan service has several meanings. In general, it created an anime and refers to material in a work of fiction or in a fictional series that is intentionally added to please the audience, often sexual in nature, such as nudity. The term, according to Wikipedia, originated in Japanese in the anime and manga fandom, but has been used in other languages and media. For example, if you like K-pop and follow like idols and everything, it can also refer to this idol culture and idols interacting with their fans. However, today I want to focus on fan service in BL, and in BL it is two people from a particular series being intimate in a way, whether it be through physical contact or words in real life. Fan service, according to the internet, is often done at events where two actors are present or through communication to fans via social media and live streams. Also, in this video, when I talk about certain BL actors, I am going to generalize. By my video, I don't mean that every BL actor or every BL actor who is doing fan service is like that. This is just a generalization because I don't want to just pick out people. And also when I talk about the BL fan, I also don't mean every BL fan that is out there. This is really just a generalization and I don't want to offend anyone. I will probably offend people. But just so you know, I don't mean every BL fan out there and every BL actor out there. This is really just for the sake of the video. First things first. I do not believe that an actor has to belong to the LGBTQ+ community in order to play a gay character. Of course, it would be nice to see some representation, but at the end of the day, I also think that sexual orientation is something extremely personal and something you do not need to discuss if you don't want to. In my opinion, it's also something that oftentimes isn't 100% fixed for every person. There are sometimes many shades between what someone identifies as and what they're attracted to. So I don't believe BL actors need to be gay or disclose their sexual orientation to the public. However, I do think there's a difference between playing a gay character and being respectful towards that certain community and profiting off of a community without respecting it. And in my opinion, fan service oftentimes does the latter. In this section, I'll be talking about the LGBTQ+ community and how fan service might affect them. But later on, I will also speak about the fans and companies involved in making BLs, so be sure to watch until the end. This type of fan service, the creation of a fantasy that two people working together might be dating, is nothing the BL industry invented. We can find it in Hollywood, in Western bands such as One Direction, and, of course, in K-pop. The problem with the BL industry, however, and also the K-pop industry, but this isn't a K-pop video, is the extent to which the initiators of certain ship go to. Of course, like I said in the beginning, I'm not talking about every BL actor and I won't specify who I mean. This is just a generalization and I don't want anyone to think that I'm attacking their ship or something. I understand that fan service is a type of promotion. And you could argue that when actors are on one of these special stages promoting their shows, they're being the characters and not the actors. However, it's about how these actions are perceived. When two actors are flirting on screen or doing one of those games that I personally absolutely cannot stand, the fans don't say, look how cute character X and character Y are. No, they are saying, look how cute actor X and actor Y are. They must be dating. BL actors are blurring the lines between the characters and them as people. And yes, they're doing it intentionally. Because the more people like their off-screen flirting, the more people will gush over their chemistry, and the more people will ship them, which will, in turn, give them more projects together. I believe an actor's job ends with the filming. The promotion they are doing outside of it does not have to rely on some fantasy companies create to make money. And I believe two actors can have chemistry without acting as if they're secretly dating. Now, why does fan service harm the LGBTQ+ community? Like I said, I don't think an actor has to publicly disclose their sexual orientation, and never ever would I apologize any type of bullying, like people did with Kid Connor. That was just disgusting, and people should be ashamed of what they did to him. And of course, there might always be a slim chance two actors are actually dating. However, I would never force that idea upon them. The reason why fan service harms the LGBTQ+ community is because two actors are, in a way, promoting the fetishization of two men. If two men are even remotely close to each other, they must be dating, right? No, of course not. But they're basically showing that the fantasies they are showing on screen could be happening off screen as well. Do you know how often I see people shipping two men that haven't even played a couple together in a show? But that's not the worst thing. If you want to ship people, okay, do what you want. I think it can be very harmful, but I also believe that people usually grow out of that phase of shipping two real people. The problem is how BL watchers, and female BL watchers, I must admit, are treating real gay couples. They're enforcing these stereotypes they see on screen onto real-life couples. Of course, this isn't the fault of the BL actors, but more of the industry itself. But BL actors are promoting the idea that gay couples act a certain way when in reality people are very, very different, and there isn't one particular way couples engage with each other. And some of the comments people make are extremely inappropriate. Like, you have no business asking people about their sexual preferences. If they want to tell you, that's totally fine. But do not ask who is the top and who is the bottom. Like, no, please don't. But yeah, I'm getting a bit caught up because this is actually a different problem. However, many problems in the BL industry are intertwined, so I had to talk about it for a second. So yes, fan service blurs the lines between an actor and their character and creates this illusion. But who is at fault? Is it actually the actor who is to blame for creating that fantasy? Yes and no. While I do think the actor is to blame to a certain extent, we need to talk about the companies and the fans first. It's obvious that companies push their actors to do more and more, because the more they do, the more money a company receives. If a moment goes viral on, let's say, Instagram, more people will check out that show. A few months ago, for example, a clip of two Taiwanese BL actors kissing on stage was going viral. The problem is, this type of behavior raises the bar. People want to see more and more, even though fan service doesn't guarantee the quality of a show. And companies see that reaction. They can bring out a terrible show, but as long as their actors are doing enough fan service and promoting their show, only a small portion of people will actually care. Not always, though. I mean, we all saw the disaster that Checkout was, and no one actually liked it. But there are a variety of shows that were way too hyped just because of the fan service actors were doing. So of course, fan service is good for companies, and I will partly blame them as they promote this type of behavior. On the other hand, why do they promote fan service? The other part of the problem is in the name itself, the fans. I personally think that fans are also to blame for fan service. Actors are flirting more and more because it attracts viewers. It fuels their fantasies. This furthermore makes for content people can use as shipping videos. There are whole sites dedicated to a certain pairing. There are fandoms, names for fandoms, even merch. I mean, they're freaking light sticks. Expensive light sticks, by the way. I'm not saying you can't be a fan of something or that you should be ashamed of buying light sticks. No, I would never shame anyone for liking someone or something. At the end of the day, it's your money and your time. And whatever you do with it is none of my business. And I am a fan of certain things as well and have some K-pop light sticks at home, so it wouldn't be okay for me to shame anyone. However, being a fan of someone and something and shipping to people are two very different things in my opinion. You can support a pairing as actors, and if you think they have great chemistry and should work in another show together, that's totally fine. I have no problem with that. Nonetheless, demanding that they should be flirty with each other or hold hands or do these little games is kind of weird. Like, it's not their job to interact with each other outside of their show, but that is what fans demand. It has kind of become their job. I mean, how many videos or comments have you seen where people would be saying things like, I don't know why they grew apart. They had a fight. They don't interact with each other anymore. And so on, so on. No, the thing is, the project ended and they moved on to different things. And that's totally fine. They're actors and should be allowed to expand on their acting and try with different pairings. But fan service makes us believe these two people will always stay together and only work with each other, because there might be something between them. This is, of course, not a problem that was created by fans. I think companies introduced and started using fan service as a form of promotion, but I believe it escalated in recent years due to the constant demand of interactions the fans expect. So, if the companies are at fault for initiating it, and the fans are at fault for the escalation of fan service in recent years, are the actors not to blame at all? Of course they are to blame. I understand that they might not be able to understand the full repercussions of their actions and that there are some fandoms which are going way too far. For example, I don't approve of people bashing a certain actor's girlfriend simply for existing and being together with one of their beloved BL actors. That's just wrong. But you can't tell me that BL actors don't know the effect they have of an Instagram post or a YouTube video dedicated to their anniversary with their with their BL ship partner. Like, come on. A part of me doesn't really want to blame them for that. Like I said, it's a way of promoting themselves. And if they want to become famous by using people's fantasies, so be it. The problem is, however, the consequences this type of behavior has. I have talked about a few consequences, but I think one of the biggest one is what happens after the ship. I mean, they dedicate so much energy into making people believe they are somewhat of in a relationship with their on-screen partner. But what if they want to move on from that? There are a few actors who have successfully moved on from a ship. Those are usually actors who keep the fan service to a minimum. But there are so many actors who are still being shipped with their partner from years ago. And I think that kind of defeats the purpose of acting, at least in my opinion. So a few weeks ago, there was this, I don't really want to call it scandal as it didn't really blow up, but I don't know what else to call it, with one actor from an extremely popular ship, I personally don't like the show he was in and am not even part of the fandom, but I obviously knew who he was, so I followed the discourse around it for a bit. In the past, this fandom has kind of been problematic, and I do think they went a bit overboard sometimes, but I do want to come to their defense this time. So the actor posted on Twitter talking about how the ship he was in wasn't real and that he's sorry for all the fan service he did in the past. Now, I totally agree with that part of his statement and do think he was brave for writing this. Although I think this should be normal and not considered bravery. But anyway, I would love it if more BL actors put fans into their places. Even though they're actors, fans aren't entitled to know anything about their sexuality and or dating life. The problem arose, however, in the second part of his statement, where he basically called his fans uneducated for believing in the ship he was in. This just doesn't sit right with me. I mean, at the end of the day, them believing in that ship benefited him. It was a ship that he wanted them to believe in. The amount of fan service this specific actor did with his on-screen partner seemed, even to me, a total outsider, like a lot. I never thought they were real because, like I said, I always think it's acting, but they did do a lot of things that I personally, if I were an actor, would be uncomfortable with if it were done outside of a film setting. And I do not blame people for wanting to believe that these two were in a relationship. I know I said earlier that I do blame the fans for how the fan service situation is escalating, but I don't blame them for wanting to believe in this fantasy, because some actors seem so comfortable doing it. Not everyone, obviously, and I think there are a few who might be forced by the company to do this, but some seem very comfortable. And now, going on Twitter and saying that the fans that made you famous, are stupid for believing in something you wanted them to believe in when it benefited your situation is pure hypocrisy to me. You have every right to call them out on their bad behavior. And like I said, this fandom did do quite a few bad things. But don't call the people who made you famous uneducated. I wanted to speak out on this situation for some time now, and I'm probably late to the whole conversation, but like I said, I'm not part of that fandom and did criticize the show in the past a lot, but the response from that actor just didn't sit right with me, especially because part of that fandom has been hating on another BL actor for years now, which BL actor A only profited from because there was like a whole nother scandal. But now that he doesn't need his fans anymore, he suddenly calls them out on believing in his BL ship. So you see, fan service can lead us to some very, very dangerous and problematic situations. And if we stop normalizing this behavior, I think we could stop it. I think there could be a way of going back to acting being just acting on screen and not off screen as well. But yeah, I didn't mean for this video to be so negative, but I kind of got caught up in the moment. And even though I haven't mentioned everything you can say about this topic, because there's a lot, this can probably clarify my own opinion on this situation. I'm not the first one to speak out on this issue, and I probably won't be the last one. And I know many people think differently, and that's fine. We mostly live in democratic societies where we can argue about things. So please tell me what you think about fan service in the comments. Do you agree with me, or do you think fan service doesn't actually harm anyone? Do you maybe believe in some ships? Do you not believe in other ships? Please leave your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear about it. And thank you so much for watching this video. Bye!